Alors, en vrai, il y a eu Resident Evil, il y a eu Alien Isolation 2 qui était vraiment cool. Après, c'est vrai que le reste, ah oui, il y a eu Guild Wars 3 aussi, bien sûr. Mais moi, personnellement, il n'y a pas eu de grosses surprises, il n'y a pas eu des choses qui m'ont vraiment marqué. Je pense que je vais pas wishlist grand chose de ce que j'ai vu aujourd'hui, alors que d'habitude, sorti d'un Summer Game Fest ou d'un E3, bah, il y a quand même ce genre de gros reveals ou de grosses licences qui sont là pour me hyper de fou. Après voilà, un point positif par contre, alors oui on n'a pas eu de grosses annonces, mais par contre toutes les annonces qu'on a eues ce sont des jeux qui vont sortir en 2026 ou maximum 2027. On a eu rarement des jeux qui sont très très loin dans le futur. J'espère qu'on sera plus en décalé cette fois-ci, parce qu'on a fini quand même la Summer Game Fest en décalé. Oula, ça commence. On va partir sur des jeux un peu plus indés, même pas un peu plus, carrément indés. Donc ça va être assez cool. Merci, il est 2 h du matin, rincez-moi. La vie de ma mère, rincez-moi. Oula, on est un peu fort là. Très bien.
There's nothing I dread more than having to make a top 10 list of video games, but if I did, I'd definitely put Nidhogg on that list. So I'm very excited to show you a world premiere of what Messhoff's been working on.
Ok, un world premiere.
Hi, I'm Mark Essen. I'm the creative director and co-founder of Messhoff. You might know us for our 2014 hit Nidhogg, which is a fencing tug-of-war game with flying worms that eat you at the end.
Je connais pas du tout.
More recently, we came out with Wheel World, an open-world bicycle racing game about saving the world. I love making games. I've been making games since I was probably 15 years old. It's something I do for fun in addition to my job. So at night, you might find me just sketching out ideas for little games and sending them around to friends. Which is how Blood Dungeon was created.
Ok, Blood Dungeon.
Blood Dungeon is a platforming game where you're not just standing on platforms, you're crawling on the sides of platforms, you're hanging from the ceilings, you're
ok,
walking across
on peut s'accrocher à toutes les... Absolument tout, apparemment.
Like learning these skills over time. So you can think of it like Vampire Survivors crossed with Spelunky.
Ah, c'est sympa en vrai, hein. Un platformer où on peut littéralement s'accrocher partout. Ça a l'air bien nerveux. D'un côté un peu dungeon crawler où tu chopes des améliorations, j'ai l'impression. Il a un peu parlé de Vampire Survivor et c'est vrai que là par exemple sur cette image avec tous les mobs on voit un peu la vibe.
You get to know the levels, you get to know which weapons work with which other weapons, and maybe find a character that you really connect with based on the art or just the way they move. So I'm excited to share it more widely when it comes out later this year.
Blood Dungeon. Late Summer 2026, donc bientôt.
Anything is possible. However, it is likely impossible that you could guess what this next game is.
Oula. New Blood présente. Andrés Borghi. Tenebris Somnia.
Hello, I'm Andrés Borghi. And I'm Mason Smith, also known as Airdorf, and we are very excited to show you Tenebris Somnia, our game, which is a retro survival horror with live action cutscenes.
Ok, avec du live action. Ok, un jeu d'horreur, ouais. Jeu d'horreur rétro. Pourquoi pas, ça a l'air cool.
That's right, these insane madmen actually put in a live-action horror movie made by a professional production company and an award-winning special effects team right here in their Fixel horror game.
C'est cool en vrai, c'est casse-gueule mais c'est cool. Si c'est bien fait, franchement ça peut être sympa. Ah, pas mal.
So, the story of Tenebrisomnia follows Julia, an Argentine girl who's having nightmares every night about her ex-boyfriend Ivan being killed by horrible monsters. And she finds out that the nightmare is real and now she's trapped inside it.
Ça a l'air cool en vrai. Hein.
Insomnia has classic survival horror gameplay that you would remember from games like Resident Evil, but it has this super retro, chunky pixel aesthetic. And in order to survive, Julia has to solve puzzles and collect items and also manage her consumables if she's going to make it through.
Ok, donc un jeu où on n'a pas beaucoup de ressources. Old school.
So, once I was playing Faith on streaming, and I said, I would like to do something like this. Yeah, and in 2023, Dave Autry came to me with the trailer for Tenebrisomnia, and he said, hey, I want you to check this out, and let me know if you think this would be a good title for us to publish.
Well, I had known Andres and Tobias and the guys at Cybot Studios down in Argentina for quite a long time, and I knew how much Faith inspired Tenebrisomnia. So I said, guys, there's really only one way we're making this game, and that's if Erdorf signs on as executive producer.
Andres was the director of one of my favorite horror short films, Alexia, and so I was really excited. I immediately said yes. I didn't put it together at the time, but I think it was just this weird, evil twist of fate that we get to work together now. It's something that it hasn't been done in a really long time, specifically combining this retro-style gameplay with live-action scenes that look this good.
Ouais, c'est vrai ça.
And besides filming on sets, they also filmed on location in several places in Buenos Aires. These cutscenes bring a lot of talent from the film industry in Argentina and also television and also the theater industry. And also the monsters that you see in pixel form during regular gameplay make an appearance in live action, and they were achieved using practical and digital makeup and monster VFX by an awards-winning special effects team, and absolutely no generative AI.
Ok, pas d'AI, pas d'intelligence artificielle.
The game and the cinematics get really
En vrai,
crazy.
hâte de voir, d'en voir un peu plus.
The end, and I can't wait for y'all to play it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to show you Tenebrisomnia. Please look for Tenebrisomnia later this year on October the 16th on PC and consoles.
Ok, donc ça sort
Retro
le 16
Nightmares,
octobre.
Real Life Horrors, October 16th, 2026.
Tenebrisomnia, bah écoutez, ça va dans ma wishlist ça. Ça a l'air vraiment cool. Après avoir comment les séquences live action sont intégrées. Tu sais, ça peut être casse-gueule hein, en vrai, du live action dans du jeu vidéo. Alan Wake le fait très bien. Remedy en général.
Enjoy this world premiere of Mr. Records.
World premiere de Mr. Records.
Hi, I'm Charles.
And I'm Valentin. We are the composers and game designers behind Glitchy Studio, creators of Headbangers Rhythm Royale and Musical Story.
Our small studio focuses on crafting innovative music games, and today we'd like to introduce our new project, Mr. Records. This is George.
Records.
He has an extraordinary gift. He can travel through music. As soon as he hears the first notes of a record, he's transported into vivid worlds where he interacts rhythmically with the environment and unfolding events. Sun in your ears, give up your fears. A wide range of musical gameplay experiences shape these journeys, letting you feel the music in a truly
unique way. Un jeu de rythme un peu mêlé à du platformer.
When he's not exploring these musical worlds, George runs his record store. Every journey completed
c'est cool, c'est un petit jeu
for sale in the shop.
Simulation de
Your goal is to
vente,
understand
un
each
peu comme
customer's
dans...
needs and match them with the right record.
C'est quoi, c'est Moonlighter?
Everyone has their own way of expressing what they're looking for, along with a distinct personality. Their stories intertwine with George's, creating a narrative that is
Le jeu où on va
intimate,
dans
humorous,
une
and
caverne et
heartfelt.
puis on revient vendre ce qu'on a trouvé là. Je crois que c'est Moonlighter.
Selling records allows you to acquire new ones to play, forming a fresh and surprising gameplay loop.
As composers, this record shop setting is really inspiring, as it gives us the freedom to explore a wide range of musical styles.
So this is George's life, told track by track. Over 45 songs, each tied to a moment, a memory, or a feeling. We had so much fun creating and recording all those songs, and we'd like to give you a quick preview of the result.
I'm sitting in my armchair and I don't know what to do or what to say.
Oh, it's a sausage blue.
I knew it was for life. This day became magical.
Eh, musique sympa. Hein.
We're a small team of 4, and we've poured a lot of heart into this game. There's still so much more to share about Mr. Records, so stay tuned for more updates coming soon. Bye!
Bye. Allez, wishlist, hein. Là, tous les jeux qu'on voit, ils ont besoin de force. Jeux indés, n'hésitez pas à aller wishlist s'il y a un truc qui attire votre attention.
Hello, my name is Jem and I'm a game designer.
I'm Stefania, I'm an art director.
Ça aide énormément hein, la wishlist sur Steam.
And you might know us from our game, Spiritfarer.
Ah,
For the past
Spiritfarer.
7 years, we've been working on something quite different. Our latest game,
Ah oui.
33 Mortals.
Ah oui, oui, ça on l'avait vu déjà. Ça a l'air d'être quelque chose. Hein.
Where you really wanted to play with random strangers.
How many times have you felt the primal thrill of defeating massive enemies in epic raids without the stress, the grind, or wondering if you're good enough? Welcome to 33 Immortals, our co-op action roguelike for 33 players. No waiting around, you jump straight into the action through instant matchmaking, you tear through hordes of enemies sent by God.
Ah ouais, ça a l'air cool hein, ça. C'est original en tout cas. 33 personnes qui tapent du mob ensemble.
2 or 3 friends, because in 33 Immortals, everything is about cooperation.
We spent a lot of time designing the game so that you want to play with others, even if you don't know them. There is no voice.
Alors je vais bailler hein. C'est pas parce que le jeu me fait chier. Il est 2h10 du mat. Je suis épuisé. Je suis en période d'allergie en plus. Allergie au pollen. Bref, écoutez, franchement, c'est la galère. Mais on est là. Ça a l'air vraiment sympa ça.
You never face it alone. You face it together. 33 Immortals releases this summer.
So come join the rebellion.
Let's go, ça arrive bientôt hein. Le 10 juin. Voilà.
You know, sometimes in life there are things that just make you want to give up and go fishing. An apocalypse that ravaged the earth and left us in a world filled with Lovecraftian nightmares and mutants might just be one of those.
Ça me parle hein.
So pop on your waders, folks, and grab your lures.
Est-ce que ça va être le même jeu qu'on vient de voir à la Summer Game Fest?
Hi, I'm Rostislav Fedorov, CEO of Dream Dog Studio, and today I'll be talking to you about Dreadmore.
Non, c'est pas ça. Hein. C'est ça? Non, c'est pas ça. Mais si, c'est ça. C'est pas ça. C'est ça ou c'est pas ça? En tout cas, c'est très similaire.
Dreadmore is a first-person fishing adventure game set in a world where long ago a catastrophe took place, changing the land, water, creatures, and the people who survived. Now, it is a dark, dangerous place that is flooded and rotting. As the player, you travel on a fishing boat that is your lifeline in this world, but that also means it is your responsibility
Non, je pense pas que c'est la même chose, hein. C'est un autre jeu.
up and repaired. You can go on the land, walk from place to place, and meet
Ah ouais,
the
non,
people
non, c'est
living
beaucoup
in
plus
this world. Those people can
cartoony.
be quite strange.
Non, non, rien à
but
voir
you'll
en fait.
find that as
Mais,
you talk to
mais
them,
stylé, hein.
you'll pick up quests and learn a lot about the place that they live.
Ça donne envie, hein.
The most important part of the game, fishing. We made sure that fishing is not just a simple minigame. You start by checking the water, casting your line, and then you wait. What happens next depends on
Les
what
jeux de pêche,
bites.
c'est pour m'attraper, hein, ça. Je surkiffe. Alors que dans la vie, aller pêcher,
Every
c'est
type
vraiment
of
un truc
creature
qui me
needs
chaufferait
a
zéro.
unique way
Quoi.
to catch them.
C'est fou.
The right route, bait, timing, and some need a completely different approach. And if you want to catch the rarest of creatures, you'll need to be at the right place in the right time. Anything you catch can't be sold to traders or broken down to use for crafting. You can
Okay.
also scavenge and salvage materials that you find. Use for
Franchement, ça me parle,
crafting.
hein.
You can also scavenge and salvage materials that you find. You use
Ça me
a
parle de
harpoon to
zinzin,
pull
là.
floating debris. One man's junk is another man's treasure. If you want to go too deeper into the game, you have to craft bait, harpoons, medicine, and gear. Very often you'll need to make what you need from what you can gather by yourself. There are many things we
Okay.
haven't shown yet, and I'm sure that you'll be surprised by what the game has in store, so make sure that you wishlist the game and join our Discord to stay
Dread
updated
more.
and get more information
Allez, wishlist,
about
les gars.
our game.
Allez, wishlist.
Thanks for
Ça
tuning
arrive
in and
fin
welcome
2026.
one and all to the world of
Ça a l'air vraiment
Dreadmore.
sympa, hein. Hâte d'en voir plus. Il y a vraiment une vibe dredge.
We've got some news from a
Et ça a l'air
game we've
vraiment
been
cool.
following for quite some time. It's from a Canadian studio that knows their retro.
Welcome to the end, hero. When would you like to begin?
Alors j'ai l'air d'un gros tox avec ça. Alors il y a rien de, c'est du c'est de la menthe. Hein.
We're the
Vraiment.
co-founders of Real Games, a small Canadian indie studio.
Back in high school, the two of us made a promise to each other that we would one day make a love letter to the JRPGs we grew up on. Games like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Xenogears, the sorts of games that we played right after school, huddled next to a CRT, and the kind of games that decided what we wanted to do growing up.
That was over 20 years ago. A few years back, we walked away from our jobs to actually go and do it. The game is called Threads of Time, a turn-based, time-traveling RPG. Some of what you're about to see here today
Un
hasn't been shown
JRPG
anywhere else yet, including a first look
à
at our time
l'ancienne.
ship, the Needle.
You captain the Needle, and you fly between the eras and gather party members from across history, all in a quest to restore the order of the fallen Time Knights. You can go to the future, you can go to prehistory and see the dinosaurs, and if you'd like, you can even prevent them from extinction and see them evolve through time.
C'est
Combat
cool
is
ça.
turn-based,
Donc il y a des
the
choix.
kind that we grew up on. Each character manipulates time
Tu
in
peux
their own
influencer
way
le futur.
with the goal of interrupting enemies' attacks. How you bend time is key, as are combos between party members. Time is a through line for our whole game, and you'll definitely feel it in combat.
The team that we've put together still does not feel real to us. We've been able to find all of these JRPG fans from across the industry, from AAA veterans to indie darlings who've worked on games like Shovel Knight and Deltarune and more. We're also super fortunate to work with legends from Japan, whose work on Final Fantasy, Xenoblade, and more is part of why we're here today. We can't wait to share more about these legends that we're collaborating with soon.
Threads
En
of
tout cas, c'est
Time
joli, hein.
represents our lifelong goal to create cherished game experiences.
Ça a l'air cool.
Just the way like others did for us back in the 90s and beyond. That's our mission that we set out at Real Games. To craft retro-infused RPGs that awaken cherished childhood memories.
So that's a bit about us and Threads of Time. It means a lot to show a glimpse of what our team has been up to, and we cannot wait to share more.
Thanks so much for having us at Day of the Devs.
Bye,
Avec
everyone.
plaisir. Threads of Time. Wishlist now.
It's not often you get to world premiere a game that's been in development for 22 years, but here we are. I first played this game back in 2004. It's since gone on to be released in multiple fashions, and I'm excited to show you the next evolution.
Ok, en world premiere, 22 ans qu'il est en développement le jeu, si j'ai bien compris.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, I'm Mare.
I'm Reagan.
And we're MetaNet Software. You might have heard of our games N, N+, and N++.
Today we're delighted to announce that we're back on our bullshit with a little something we like to call N plus infinity times 2.
Ok, on est sur du Pac-Man.
It's an all-new, online multiplayer-focused iteration of the world's best platformer.
TM.
And we're so excited to tell you all about it here at Day of the Devs.
For those of you who aren't familiar with our games, they're a bit different from other 2D platformers thanks to their unique momentum-based movement mechanics that give them their own distinct flavor.
We call it parkour platforming. So you play as a ninja, gracefully and effortlessly flowing through the levels.
It's all about pure distilled gameplay and game feel that you can't get anywhere else.
Unlike the previous games in this series, N plus Infinity times 2 is not so much about the hardcore single-player experience. Although there will of course be a solo campaign for you to hone your ninja skills. Instead, this one is about platforming with your friends. And if you don't have any friends, no worries. There's matchmaking.
Ouais, j'ai pas d'amis moi.
We've taken our unique brand of acrobatic, virtual athletic 2D action gameplay and used that as a foundation to build 5 fresh, local and online multiplayer game modes. Some game modes are tried and true staples, some are new to the series, and some are new to the world. Mingle player, co-opetitive. With this game, we're really Ouroboros-ing the lexicon.
You'll be running around with your friends, luring enemies into your opponents, making the ultimate sacrifice for your teammates, and hunting each other with rockets.
That's my favorite part.
There are only 3 buttons, so it's an easy game to get into, and anybody can pick it up and play it casually at a party. But there's no skill stealing, so it also supports legit competitive play.
We like to think of it as couch-ready, tournament-worthy.
We've been making this series for a disturbingly long time, and we're very excited to put our 2 decades plus of game design experience into your hands. This is going to be launching sometime next year on all the platforms.
If you want to get a taste for yourself, please head over to our Discord and sign up for playtesting. We can't wait to play with you and see what you think. And most importantly, please wishlist N plus Infinity times 2 on Steam so that the algorithm doesn't hate us.
Thanks so much, Day of the Devs, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks.
Ok, je pense que c'est pas pour moi ça, mais...
Sometimes a game transports you through the looking
Mais ça a l'air
glass
original.
into a world that you can't help but be fascinated by. Our next title, Into the Unwell, does just that. Swedish developers She Was Such a Good Horse have created an action roguelite with a wild, unique world that you can explore solo or with friends. So settle in and get ready to hear the story of one strange cat.
Ah, c'est long, hein.
Oh, hello there. My name is Morten. I'm working on a small Swedish indie studio called She Was Such a Good Horse. We're working on a game called Into the Unwell. It's a rubber hose roguelite game.
Ok, on a un roguelite.
Hey dude, you made it! Come sit down. I was just
Oh,
about to
on
tell
est
a
où
little
là?
story. Have you ever
Je les aime bien déjà.
very unlucky
Les deux
cat?
loufoques là.
No? All right.
Avec sa clé là, avec son élastique.
And I always wondered, how did he end up in this situation?
Ah, ça réveille. Bah voilà.
Oh, and he spent his whole life savings. His dreams of domination ended up in devastation. And he was popping pills for the thrills, you know. Uppers, downers, in betweeners.
Ah, c'est intéressant.
One day you met some cute and odd-looking friends. They tried to work it up and there was no cooperation.
Alors là, vous voyez, on a de la musique, mais on a du gameplay en même temps. On n'a pas juste des personnages en train de chanter sans aucune image de gameplay. Comme le trailer de la Summer Game Fest là. J'ai oublié le nom du jeu d'ailleurs. C'est en train de m'enculer les tympans, hein. Mais c'est pas grave. 2027 Into the Unwell. Ça a l'air sympa, très intéressant. Ce serait bien de garder un œil dessus.
This world premiere is intimately special and worth paying attention to.
Ok, un world premiere encore. Oula oula.
Okay, just gonna watch some highlights real quick and check some.
Oh, Maradona, on le reconnaît.
Where were we? What the hell are we doing? Come on, focus.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Focus.
I'm Case, and this is Bub, a narrative adventure game about making art, healing, and New York City.
Hey everyone, I'm Todd Anderson. I'm a software artist, poet, and educator based in New York City, and I did gameplay design and code for Bub.
Since I was a little kid, I've always liked drawing, whether that was with pencils or markers or scissors or collage, whatever I could get my hands on, really.
And I wanted to create a gameplay structure that showed off all those different styles in different worlds. The main story takes place in New York City, but Bub is an artist, and he's constantly bringing the player into his memories and into his art. And so you might dive from a pen and ink style New York City directly into a childhood school hallway and into a show choir performance where he's nervous if he'll be able to dance correctly.
C'est un jeu en stop motion.
It's that approach that gives the game a very textural feeling, and those textures mimic the emotional underpinning of each scene.
C'est intéressant hein, artistiquement.
3 years ago, Todd and I were making really good progress on the game. We lived in the same neighborhood in Brooklyn, and in the afternoons we could walk to each other's houses and work on Bub. But something unexpected happened, and I got really sick and was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And during that time, I lost a lot of my vision, my dexterity in my hands, and it was basically impossible for me to make art. So Todd and I focused on our friendship, and I focused on healing. And little by little over time, the old connections that had always existed in my brain, the ones that told me how to make things and how to use my hands, they started to come back. I had a choice. I could keep looking down into the bottomless pit of despair, or I could focus on how many good things had happened to me in my life, how many good people I'd met. I decided to go there and focus on gratitude, and that's become a central theme of the game.
But it's ultimately a hopeful story and about drawing connections between your own hardships and difficulties and using that to connect with other people and appreciate what you have and share it with others. Bub is also a game about New York City. It's a place that both Case and I have lived and made work for over 10 years, and we wanted to capture some of that energy of being a young person, figuring out what you care about and how to say it, alongside a bunch of other people that are just trying to do the same.
We've been lucky to collaborate with our talented friends. Adam Schatz has laid down an amazing blanket of music and sound throughout the entire game. Asher Kurtz has written beautiful additional guitar music for the project as well. Whitmer Thomas, fresh off of his supporting role in the film Weapons, is the voice of Bub.
Life used to feel like a coming of age that was never gonna end. Then it all changes.
Ah, ils m'ont mis un coup, hein. Là, mais intéressant le jeu, il y a des belles choses. Après, je pense pas que c'est pour moi, je pense pas être la cible. Dans la séquence. Faut la tanker, hein. Faut la tanker à 2h30 du mat là.
I first met Mike
Je vais pas vous
Boxleiter in
mentir.
Iowa over a decade ago when he was making incredible mobile games. He went on to create Secret Hitler, which is a huge success in the board game community. Now he's back with
Le
his
H,
friends to make
le
new
H
video
word.
games, and they're here to show you a world premiere of what they've been
Le
working
H-word a été prononcé avant qu'on ait The Witcher
Hi, I'm Mike
4.
Boxleiter, creator of Lazy River.
Oula, oula. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? C'est marrant ça. Un jeu à streamer. Le jeu pour la team du lundi.
Lazy River is a co-op first-person shooter set at the galaxy's most unregulated water park, Water Station 1. The water park is connected by an infinite lazy river that runs the length of the park. Since the water park is on a space station, they can only use special space water. Because of the special properties of space water, you should not pee in the pool. If you do pee in the pool, the pee will go back up into you and turn you and everyone else in the water into zombies.
Ah.
You and 3 friends are at the park for a fun vacation, but one guy peed in the pool, and now everyone else in the park is a zombie that wants to kill you.
Ah mais qui a pissé là?
Build a raft and ride the lazy river to the other
Et vous,
end
vous
of the
faites
park
pipi
to
là
escape.
dans la commu? Vous faites pipi dans les piscines?
The first objective in the game is
C'est
building
votre
your
délire ou
raft.
pas?
It's your floating base, your greatest
Dites-le en
resource,
commentaire, je
and
veux
the
savoir.
strongest weapon in the game. Start building by gathering inner tubes and lashing them together. You'll have to leave your raft to scavenge for materials from around the park, however.
En vrai, ça peut être gaulerie,
The
hein.
whole place is
Ça peut
infested
être
with
marrant.
zombies, but lucky for you, once the zombification process is finished, the zombies are vulnerable to water. Fight them
Je sais
with
pas,
pool
hein.
noodles, water guns,
On a
and
beaucoup
water
des jeux
balloons,
comme ça.
and make your way back to the raft with your loot. On your
Moi, j'aime
raft,
bien
you're safe from
l'arme,
the
là.
zombies. Unless you get some hop-ons. You're gonna get hop-ons.
Le vieux truc en mousse là.
If you get hurt, cook up some hot dogs on the grill to regain your
Ah, on
strength.
peut faire un barbecue sur le
Use
petit
scavenged
raft.
materials to craft armor,
Let's go.
turrets, and engines for your raft. Make sure to build something balanced and don't make it too heavy. A raft that can't drive straight is a sitting duck. Build smart and create your own custom floating fortress.
Ok, pourquoi pas. Ouais, catastrophe
You'll
là.
need to choose your path along the river carefully. The robot security forces will set up blockades and strong defenses. Get too close, and they'll shoot out your inner tubes and damage your raft. And make sure not to set off the park alarm system. Setting out the alarm will start the park's self-clean cycle, which will obliterate all organic life in the area. And that would really ruin your summer vacation.
It's maybe moving a little faster than we're moving.
I've been making this game with 4
Ah, y a du
other
potentiel à
amazingly
rire, hein.
talented devs from across the country.
Ça a l'air
We're
marrant.
excited to announce Lazy River is coming
Ah,
to
j'ai plus
early
d'eau.
access next year, summer
Oh
2027.
la galère, j'ai plus d'eau.
Please wishlist us now on Steam. Thanks
Oh
so
non,
much.
mais je vais m'en aller, hein.
Alright, we'll have these onion rings before we die.
Our next title.
Ouais, je vais aller chercher de l'eau, j'arrive. Je suis parti chercher de l'eau, j'ai fini par faire une vaisselle. Véridique. Voilà, il fallait que je me réveille.
In the best way. I'm so excited to present Prove You're Human.
I have dreamt so long of my body that I know everything.
Prove you're human.
I have dreamt it into existence. They say you think you're human.
Ah.
I am human.
Sunset Visitors.
Oh, welcome. My name is Pinky. I also go by Natalie, and I am narrative designer at Sunset Visitor Studios. In our upcoming game, an AI dares to dream that she's human. And
Oh non.
your
Oh le
job
cauchemar.
is to put her in her
Oh mon
place.
cauchemar.
Prove You're Human
Les
is a
captcha.
sci-fi narrative adventure where you play as Santana. You've split your consciousness into 2, and you've been uploaded to a digital world to work. On your first day, you head into the office and you meet a giant face extended off of a mechanical arm. This is Messa. And day in and day out, you spend time with her. And through doing rather esoteric captchas, you learn more about her as she learns more about you.
My name is Daniel Bolio. I'm an
S'il y a un petit
artist
bout qui
here
dépasse,
at
est-ce que vous
Sunset Visitor,
sélectionnez
and my
le petit
background
carré ou
has
pas?
mostly been in animation here in Vancouver. My first project
Moi je le
in
fais.
games was a
Voilà. Comme ça vous savez.
for the Nintendo Switch called Boreal Tenebrae. Animating Mesa is we're approaching it in a unique way where we're trying to have this balance where there is enough complexity in the animation system so that she's able to hit all these poses and expressions and micro expressions that we want her to hit, but also have the system intuitive enough that the writers are able to control a lot of that animation from within their writing documents through text-based macros. having them be able to suggest animations for her to do in the writing document is sort of imperative to how we want to make this game. Some interesting challenges for Mesa is just how big she is in frame. Like I've been finding that really like subtle micro expressions that usually you wouldn't be able to read on a character.
Ah, je trouve ça intéressant, hein. Le fait qu'elle soit si grande sur l'écran.
Serpentine, she can be very robotic, but she can also be very organic. So there's a lot of different ways that she can be animated and a lot of different kind of modes that Mesa Face can hit.
Something is different about Mesa. In the middle of the night, you catch her muttering to herself about a body. And not just any body, her body. She is certain that she has a body just like you, which is impossible. So, of course, you do not believe her until one day.
This next world premiere
Très intéressant en vrai.
hails from Paris, France, from a developer who isn't afraid.
Je vais très certainement le wishlist celui-là et le garder, garder un œil dessus. Ça m'a l'air très intéressant. On n'avait pas de date de sortie, hein, je pense.
Video games. They should always be fun and lighthearted and
et on est en France là.
Forget about all the worries in our lives, right?
Oui, ça s'entend. Hein.
Right? Wrong. I'm Florent Morin from The Pixel Hunt, and we are known for making video games about the most depressing topics imaginable, like forced migrations, or grief, or child abuse. Also, we made one horseback riding game, but this one doesn't count. But why would we do that, you ask? Well, it's not just because we are a bunch of mean, depressed French wannabe existentialists. Of course we are, but we also believe in the power of video games to tell stories that you will care deeply about. Stories we can't afford to.
Oui.
So, let me tell you about Ithaca. In this narrative road trip RPG, you play as Penelope, a 30-something environmental rights lawyer who spent the last decade trying to sue big polluting companies and failing miserably. Today, you hop in your car and decide to drive to a place called Ithaca, where you're supposed to meet with friends from the Earth Protection Association you just joined. A perfectly normal thing to do, except there's the boss of a big petroleum company tied up in your trunk.
Okay.
Ithaca starts at the game where you, the player, have to figure out what's going on. From the comfort of your vehicle, you'll be able to call and text Penelope's friends and family. You'll get to know her better as she pretends everything is normal. And as the story is moving forward, you'll gain experience points that will allow you to shape her personality. Depending on your skills, you will pass or fail checks that will open or close new narrative routes. You'll also be able to explore your own thoughts in search for answers about who you really are. Stop in service stations to meet with strangers. Investigate the interior of your car for clues that may have been planted there. Or call mysterious phone numbers to learn info that will shed a new light on the operation.
Franchement sympa. Ça me parle beaucoup ça.
You'll be left with the most complicated question Penelope has ever faced. Will she go all the way and finish what she started? Or will the road change everything? We're not making Ithaca to give answers. We're making it because we're living through questions that feel increasingly hard to avoid. About power, about violence, about the world we live in and how far we're ready to go to defend it. About what still feels possible when nothing seems to work anymore. And we hope Ithaca will be one way to sit with those questions for a while. Carefully and comfortably, from inside a car that keeps moving forward. If that sounds interesting to you, we've just launched a Kickstarter and a Steam page, and we hope to release the game in late 2027. Also, you never know, there might still be a cute horseback riding minigame in there somewhere.
Ok, en vrai, Ithaca, intéressant, allez wishlist sur Steam, hein. Donnez de la force. En plus ça c'est français, donc pourquoi pas. Pourquoi pas aider. Mais moi en tout cas là ça m'a chauffé. Hein. Screenbound, ok. Ah oui, ça on avait déjà vu ça.
Now, previously on Day of the Devs, Crescent Moon talked about how they initially came up with the idea for Screenbound and showed off some of the early mechanics. But today I wanted to talk about the narrative and show off some of the design choices we've made in the game.
Je pense qu'on avait déjà vu ça. Je sais plus où. Est-ce que c'était au Game Awards ou juste l'année passée au Summer Game Fest.
So, for the narrative, you, the player, find yourself in the role of Pavi, on the hunt for her missing mother, Lova. Now, after finding a trans-dimensional device called a Q-Boy amongst her things, you are thrust into another dimension. With the assistance from a questionable guide, Wexler, your job is to traverse the Q realm and solve this land's puzzles in order to figure out what's been happening in this place, where your mother is, and how to bring her home.
Ouais, c'est original. Après, personnellement, c'est pas trop mon délire, mais le jeu a l'air sympa.
Trying to encapsulate that feeling of nostalgia and familiarity within the gameplay. Keeping mechanics like head stomping and momentum-based movement really makes you feel like you're playing a game from that era.
Ok, tu vois en temps réel sur le Game Boy, enfin sur la Game Boy. Le ou la Game Boy? La Game Boy.
Change perspectives from a side-scrolling platform type game to a top-down adventure game reminiscent of the ones from the late 90s, with a whole host of new mechanics, enemies, and challenges to overcome. So keep an eye out for more in the coming months.
Ah ouais, c'est vraiment intéressant. Du coup, tu regardes quel écran? Est-ce que tu regardes vraiment ton écran avec ce qui se passe en 3D? Ou est-ce que tu regardes justement ton écran sur ta console Ça a l'air vraiment super intéressant. Ok. Sympa.
This next game's been making the round at PAX and EVO, and we're excited to show the first gameplay footage. It's from Red Moon Workshop out of Austin, Texas. This is Shot 1 Fighters.
Hi, Day of the Devs. My name's SB, over at Red Moon Workshop in Austin, Texas. Our team's been super hard at work on a brand new type of roguelite, with combat inspired by classic fighting games. So check out the trailer for Shot 1 Fighters.
Ok, un roguelite. YouTube, je sais que je commande pas beaucoup, hein, mais là je suis esquinté. Hein. Ah ok, un jeu de combat, un roguelite combat, intéressant. Je sais pas si ça existait ou si c'est la première fois qu'on a ça. Ah, le bras de mon micro, il fait un bruit insupportable. Peut-être temps de changer de micro. Voilà. J'ai changé de caméra récemment. Je sais pas si vous avez vu. Meilleure qualité. Alors là, je suis passé sur une qualité un peu inférieure pour cette vidéo. Bref. Sympa, hein, mais... En vrai, putain, mais je suis aigri. En vrai, ça a l'air cool. Hein. J'ai juste envie d'aller dormir, les gars. Je vous le dis. Libérez-moi, là. Laissez-moi. Shot 1 Fighters. Ok, intéressant, original.
Currently, you guys can wishlist the game on Steam, as well as follow our game on Kickstarter, which is coming very soon. Thank you guys for watching, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be on Day of the Devs. I also want to give a shout out to our community and our fellow devs working tirelessly to make this game a reality. We cannot wait to show you guys what's coming next for Shot 1 Fighters.
Ok, ça roule.
Our next title is from Happy Broccoli Games, a small team based in Berlin who are most well known for bringing us the cozy mystery-solving Duck Detective series. Their new game offers a different type of mystery to solve, and it's a world premiere. People better
World
watch out, 'cause
premiere.
there's about to be an attempted murder around here. This is Apple Crumble.
Ok, on a une world première sur Apple Crumble. Apple Crumble.
All right, Grandma, here we are.
Don't open the door! It's that prick, Ellen.
Hey, Jessatron!
Ok, donc la grand-mère en danger.
Hello, I'm Annika from Happy Broccoli Games. You may know us from our games such as Duck Detective, The Secret Salami.
I'm the duck detective.
En vrai, je crois que les séquences où on entend les devs parler... Alors c'est sympa de les entendre parler, etc. Mais ça
However,
casse le rythme de
I'm
fou. Hein.
very excited to be sharing with you an exclusive first glimpse of our newest title, Apple Crumble.
Ok, bah on regarde. Hein. Donc un murder mystery.
The game is simple. It's your grandma's 84th birthday party, and one of your family members is trying to murder her. Could it be your stressed out mom, your midlife crisis uncle? Your younger sister Millie has been acting weird lately. Just ignore the weird man in your bedroom for now. We at Happy Broccoli Games are big fans of thriller narratives. We've been drawing inspiration from things like Agatha Christie, Knives Out, mouthwashing, and many more. Reconnect with your dysfunctional family. Explore your childhood home and work out who you can trust before it's time for tea. Apple Crumble is a creepy, cozy walking sim. Rummage through your family's belongings and uncover the secrets they're hiding from you. Apple Crumble is a suspenseful interactive story and will be piping hot out of the oven later this year. We hope you enjoy Grandma's birthday, and remember, everyone is a suspect.
Tout le monde est suspect. Bah écoutez, ça a l'air cool. Ça a l'air assez sympa.
Have you ever dreamt of a game where the
On aime bien les murder
interacting with
mystery
the
de toute façon, on adore ça.
slapping
Hein.
stuff? Well, your dreams have been answered. Check out this world premiere of Turbo Button's new game, Slap Out of It.
Slap out of it. Très bien.
Hi, I'm Nick from Turbo Button, and I'm excited to introduce
Bonjour
you
Nick
to Slap Out of It,
from Turbo
our slap
Button.
and solve adventure game coming to PC and console next year.
Our world is broken. But at Puzzle, we're putting it back together piece by piece. And we want you to join our family of on-demand experts to solve the problems of our paying customers with a personal touch. Think you have what it
Donc on va
takes to be
devoir
a
mettre des
puzzle-solving
claques, c'est
ninja?
ça?
A rock star who's not afraid to get your hands
Oh là, oui, 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 oui.
Alone or with
Ah,
their
oui,
friends or family
j'ai eu la
will come
vision là.
looking for you. Then reach out and become a Puzz Pal today. That's where you'll apply skills like personal tutor, junk removal, dry docking, commercial plumbing, tech support, caretaking, print-based marketing, whatever the hell this is. We'll
Ça a l'air
out of
con,
it.
mais dans le bon sens du terme.
Slap Out of It is an interactive comedy sandbox filled with silly puzzles inspired by classic point-and-click adventure games. You'll be tasked with exploring a very odd office building, where each floor is a gateway to another world filled with new characters to meet and strange secrets to discover.
Ah, c'est sympa, hein?
Slapping is how you interact with everything around you.
En vrai, c'est
Just about
cool.
everything and everyone
Ça peut
react to
m'avoir
your
en vrai.
slaps. You'll also find a bunch of useful items along the way that you can store in your trusty fanny pack. Some items have special uses, but of course, you can slap with every item as well. The more you slap, the more you learn about how the world works. But don't expect everyone to be happy about that.
Our team is dedicated to interactive comedy and celebrating the art of dumb. Up till now, we've been known for making a bunch of silly VR games, but Slap Out of It is our first time stepping away from VR.
Ouais, c'est ce que je disais, ça a l'air bien con. Mais ça peut très vite me plaire.
Meticulously handcrafted to keep you thinking and laughing at the same time. We've spent years iterating, editing, and polishing. And we're so proud to say this is our dumbest game yet. We're also excited to be working with Ben Starr, who joins us now to share a little about what this project means to him.
I don't know who you
Ah mais c'est vrai que Ben Starr devait arriver. Je croyais que c'était pendant un Summer Game Fest. Ah là là, Ben Starr. C'était donc ça la surprise. Ça a l'air sympa, ça a l'air vraiment cool. Ça, je vais certainement ajouter ça à ma liste. Ouais, t'inquiète. On va wishlist. Allez, wishlist, les gars.
Not very often we get to show you sequel, follow-up sort of things. This next one is from our buds over in England, and it features a very familiar cast.
Hello, I'm Gavin Price, studio head at Platonic Games. And I'm Chris Sutherland, programming lead. We're absolutely thrilled to be here to introduce you to the next chapter for our favorite buddy duo, Super Ukulele Cards.
Oh là, oh là, oh là. On est sur un Mario Kart like. Alors qu'est-ce qu'il a de spécial celui-ci?
Ukulele are back. This
Dites-nous
time,
tout.
they've traded the platforming for the starting grid. We're hitting the track in a unique style to give karting fans an experience like no other. One where, above all, skill reigns supreme.
With Super Ukulele Kart, we're building a racing game that rewards mastery of its many mechanics, tracks, items, and perks. This isn't just a Sunday drive. It's a high-speed, high-skill, pixel-perfect racing showdown. Think of it as the definitive competitive karting adventure. Just a touch more lizard and bat than your usual Grand Prix.
At Platonic, our goal has always been to inject a bit of that classic fun and character-driven magic back into the industry. We might be a small team, but we've got a lot of history between us, and as huge karting fans ourselves, we can sense when sometimes things have drifted too far from much of what we believe made those experiences so fun in the first place.
Ok, écoutez, là je suis en train de zone out. Le jeu il est en train de m'enterrer. Hein. Là c'est vraiment pas pour moi. Mais encore une fois, ça a l'air cool. Ça a l'air intéressant, juste je suis pas la cible. Clairement.
With Super Ukulele Kart, you'll be able to set up races with an unparalleled degree of customization and flexibility, guaranteeing endless ways to compete with your friends
sympa, ça.
to whatever extremes you desire.
De donner beaucoup d'options de customisation de parties.
Thank you so much for letting us share Super Ukulele Kart with you today.
Ah, avec plaisir, t'inquiète. T'inquiète, là je suis au bord du sommeil, mais y a pas de souci. On te donne de la place dans nos cerveaux.
We'll also be hosting a series of beta tests very soon, so do keep an eye out for how to sign up. We'd love your help in getting this across the finish line and making the game the definitive karting experience.
Thanks for watching.
Il y a eu des choses intéressantes dans ce Day of the Devs. Alors oui, on est fatigué, oui, il est tard, mais il y a eu des choses assez sympas.
All the way from Poland, we've got some news from the creators of The Invincible.
Oh, hi. We are Star Wars
Ok, The Invincible, ça me parle.
It's a cataclysm extraction survival game where you have to navigate ever-changing terrain, battle against fire and volcanic demons to find and rescue survivors. In order to truly capture the high-stakes pressure, obviously, and fire physics itself, we didn't just read the manuals. We took part in a fire safety training and participated in professional research sessions. And honestly, we are probably the most fire-ready team in the whole industry. You could say, in other words, that we truly know how to handle the heat.
It was supposed to be a quiet trip. But this place
Invincible que j'ai toujours pas fait, qui a l'air assez cool. Et là encore une fois j'aime bien la vibe. Après c'est un jeu d'extraction ils ont dit. Donc ça va être du multi.
Every time we go out there, the island takes a little more. More ground, more paths, more people. And the fire brought more than ash. The locals turned. The cults emerged. And the island fell apart.
Visuellement c'est sympa, j'aime ce qui se passe. J'aime ce qu'on est en train de voir là.
We bring back whoever we can. You make the call. Push further. I'm going in. Or turn back. Dust runner on final. 30 seconds to RV. I'm coming for you.
Almost there.
Ah ça a l'air intense hein.
So we keep going back into the fire.
Ça a l'air vraiment cool.
Not again. All right, listen everyone. Let's put our skills to the test. Evacuate.
Qu'est-ce que je suis en train de regarder? Les gars, il est 3h du mat. Libérez-moi. Libérez-moi. Là, c'est quoi? Lâchez l'affaire, là. Montrez votre trailer. Libérez-moi. Je vous en conjure. S'il vous plaît.
This next game is the latest in a series of well-known cooperative puzzle platformers. That's right, folks. It's time for another...
Never been seen video game screen.
I don't know about you folks, but he's really trying my patience.
That's not funny.
Après là, on a un avant-goût du PC Gaming Show qui arrivera dimanche. Où là, ça va être quelque chose, hein, ça va être dur. Hein. J'espère que c'est pas trop tard le PC Gaming Show.
And unknowingly bound their fate to the realm's greatest heroes.
Se tenir jusqu'au bout, c'est un challenge.
Who are you two?
They must have somehow tampered with Trine's magic.
C'est d'habitude j'y arrive, mais en tant que viewer, là en tant que streamer, faire le PC Gaming Show, ça va être une expérience. Après j'ai un peu hâte. Mais on va souffrir tous ensemble, hein. Ça je vous le dis déjà.
Hold on, everyone.
Watch out.
Don't underestimate us.
That's right.
C'est quoi ça? C'est un party game?
What's that? It's another magic beastie.
C'est It Takes Two mais à 4 quoi. C'est It Takes Four.
The clearer it became that the young siblings had been keeping secrets. Some of them much darker.
Ouais, c'est le genre de jeu en soirée, ça peut être vraiment cool. Entre potes. Together in Time, Trine 6. Comment ça, Trine 6?
Put on your detective caps for our next title.
Ça, c'est une licence qu'on connaît? C'est le 6e opus d'une licence, ça? Je connais pas trop.
Their third entry, When Sirens Fall Silent, looks like it's going to be an upgrade of everything they do best. I can't wait to dive into the mystery on this one. Check out When Sirens Fall Silent.
Ça me dit un truc. Le nom me dit un truc. Ah mais oui. Martha is Dead. Très intéressant ce jeu. Ouais, jeu d'horreur psychologique qui est très intéressant, Martha is Dead. Alors il avait des défauts.
We aim to shine a light on their suffering because they deserve to be heard, and also because their stories are still sadly relevant in today's world.
Holy shit, what happened here? You hear that, kid?
I bet he's exaggerating.
Come on, let's get on with it.
When Silence Falls Silent is a dark psychological thriller with horror undertones set in Italy in the early 1990s. The player takes on the role of Mila, a rookie police officer who is unexpectedly pulled into a major case triggered by the rampage of a serial killer. As the investigation unfolds, Mila becomes increasingly vulnerable, and the boundary between reality and supernatural grows even more blurred. We address many complex and controversial topics that we believe deserve more attention, like human trafficking, addictions, trauma, and misogyny.
That missing girl in the photo. Are we going to save her? It makes me nervous to think she's depending on us.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be the ones to find her. And you will become the new commissioner, instead of that pathetic little man.
I don't know about that. You like to fantasize, huh?
Characters are at the core of When Silence Falls Silent story, and we are placing a strong focus on character interactions alongside a structured and rich gameplay experience, including branching dialogues, investigation mechanics, exploration, environmental puzzles, and some rather significant surprises.
Ça part en wishlist direct.
Traces of blood. Why did that man bring me here? It must be an important clue.
Oh, that lagoon is cursed.
Based on players' choices, the protagonist's inner fragilities will gradually emerge and significantly change the way the game's story is experienced. This is a huge evolution for us as a studio, and we really hope you can feel the passion we are putting in this game as we continue to push boundaries and stay true to the DNA that defines LKA games. Thank you very much for watching.
Ok, When Silence Falls Silent, mais ça, alors, je me demande si je l'ai pas déjà wishlist parce que le nom me dit un truc. Oh, ils m'ont libéré. Ils m'ont libéré là-dessus. Ils m'ont montré le meilleur jeu de la conférence et ils me libèrent. Magnifique. Alors je vais vite voir. When Silence Falls Silent, ouais, je l'ai déjà dans ma wishlist. Il me semble bien, le nom me disait un truc. Bah, ça a l'air vraiment cool, hein, ça. Ça, vraiment... Bah écoutez, YouTube, ce fut long. On a eu des belles choses, que ce soit dans les Summer Game Fest ou dans Day of the Devs. Alors, hop. Après, je pense pas que c'était la meilleure année. Soyons honnêtes. Donc oui, c'est clairement pas la meilleure année. Après, comme je le disais sur la vidéo pour la conférence des Summer Game Fest, il y a beaucoup de jeux qui vont sortir là très bientôt. Hein. Donc j'imagine qu'on s'est pas focus sur les sorties vraiment dans le futur pour nous en mettre plein la vue, parce que oui, c'est vrai qu'il y avait des choses à montrer, quoi. Il y avait potentiellement, alors moi, mes attentes, c'était du Mass Effect, c'est du Exodus, c'était du The Expanse, du Witcher 4, du DLC de The Witcher 3. Il y avait plein de choses que j'attendais, que je n'ai pas eu. Après, on en aura peut-être dans les jours qui suivent. Il y a encore le PC Gaming Show, le dur PC Gaming Show. Espérons que cette année, ils aient un peu limité la casse sur les sketchs et les blagues, etc. Parce que franchement, chaque année, c'est assez douloureux. Il y a aussi la conférence Xbox dimanche. Et demain, il y a quoi? Il y a le Wholesome Direct, je pense. Et aussi les Narrative Games. Je pense que ces deux conférences-là m'intéressent plutôt pas mal. Je suis pas encore sûr si je vais les regarder là sur si je vais en faire des vidéos. Mais en tout cas, on a quand même eu des belles choses. Moi, je retiendrai principalement When Silence Falls Silent. Ça avait l'air vraiment cool. Jouer dans la peau d'un détective et essayer d'élucider une affaire peut être vraiment, vraiment ma cam. YouTube, merci d'avoir passé ce long moment avec moi. D'ici la prochaine vidéo, portez-vous bien. Portez-vous bien, allez faire dodo. Bah non, enfin, vous n'allez pas voir cette vidéo maintenant. Moi, je vais faire dodo. Bisous à tout le monde et ciao. À la prochaine.